If you haven't already guessed yet, guys, this is the BMW X5 M50i. And what a car it is. It's an incredible car to drive. It really has something special about it, and so it should do, because it's been 21 years since the launch of this car, back in 1999, believe it or not. And back then, this was the leader in its class, the class of large luxury SUVs, or SAVs, as the guys at BMW love to call them, sports activity vehicles. Yeah, I know, it never really caught on, did it? But this car, well, 21 years later, we're fourth generation. Look at it, it's incredible, the tech that's packed into this, the bits and pieces that you get with it, even as standard. But it's quite an expensive car because it is at the top end of the range in the luxury market. It was the forerunner to a lot of our modern SUVs. I won't name some of the other manufacturers, but this car, the original one, started basically the luxury SUV market off. And I think it has a lot to live up to in this new fourth generation model. Anyway, the main thing is, it's put on a little bit of girth. Well, not as in weight, it's actually put on 12 inches in length. Ooh, we could all do with a bit of that, and about 6 inches in width as well. We could do with a bit of that as well. But one thing you can't do is extra weight, and this car hasn't put on extra weight. It is basically a few pounds lighter than the old one. Let's go and check it out, see what we think of the new BMW X5. So under the bonnet you get a 4.4 litre V8 bi-turbo engine producing around 523 brake horsepower and 750 newton metres of torque. For a car that weighs just over 2 tonnes, this will do 0 to 60 in 4.3 seconds with a top speed of 155 miles an hour. That's not bad. All of that is controlled by an 8-speed auto sequential gearbox, which in turn looks after the famous BMW xDrive. That's the all-wheel drive system on this car. So the first thing you're going to notice when you get the X5 out on the road, especially these lovely country B roads here in the UK, is the suspension. It is phenomenal. I love that word, but it really is. I mean, this car has adaptive suspension, and with the standard car, you get automatically twin axle air suspension as well. This particular car has an upgrade on it. It's got an adaptive suspension Pro Pack fitted to it, and it completely changes the way this car drives. It's far more sporty, far more responsive. It's an extra £3,195, but oh wow, I think it's worth it. You get a number of different modes on here, including modes like sport mode, which when you get to around 80 miles an hour, this car actually will drop up to 20 millimeters in height. So it will drop down, that's 2 centimeters in old money, about that much. And it lowers the center of gravity as well, giving it even more grip and more surety. You've got an Eco Plus mode as well, which you can configure yourself. So you can actually put in, you know, like you want the steering a little bit harder, or maybe the whatever you want to do. With this car, it's open to suggestion, basically. Brakes are fantastic. You're not going to get much better when it comes to brakes, especially on the size of these wheels on there. All in all, what a place to be out on the road in the X5. On the X5, you get standard 22-inch rims. Can you believe that? They're absolutely massive. And on the front, the tyre is slightly smaller than the rear tyre as well. So on the front, you get a 275 by 40 tyre, and on the rear, you get a 315 by 35. So it's that little bit bigger, giving you grip, because that's what you need in this car, is tons and tons of grip. Another thing that you do need in this car is a good braking system. And I'm happy to report that this car does come with vented discs all the way round, so it will keep them nice and cool when you are hammering some brakes on there. At the front, it comes standard with a full set of LEDs, that's fog lights, main beam, dip beam, but you can pay an extra £1,350 for these lovely laser lights. They're the ones that follow you around as you go down the road. I'm loving all the front here. I'm a big fan of this kidney grille. I really like it. And don't forget, it only works when it needs to. So it's actually shut at the moment because the engine isn't hot. When the engine needs more air, it will open up automatically and suck in gallons and gallons of air as it's belting down the motorway. The front looks really fantastic in my opinion. I'm loving all the air on it. None of it is fake. It's all there for a purpose, and it's all there for a reason. And that's another reason why I love BMW cars. So one of the extra packs that I think is well worth looking into, if you know, a little bit extravagant, is the Technology Plus pack. Now that will get you heads-up display, and that also uses the sign recognition. You can have your nav comes up there as well. It's really, really nice. You get the gesture control, which is lovely. So you can turn the stereo up and down, volume, and do other, move tracks by doing things like that, all different gestures. And you get the Park Assist Plus, which is brilliant. It's got the cameras built into it, which, are absolutely superb when you're in a large SUV like this car. All of that will cost you £3,635 though. Round at the back, you do get an electronically assisted tail lift with the X5, but you get a split tail lift, which I really love. This we affectionately named as the polo seat. If you push the button there, this now pops down nicely like that and gives you a lovely place to sit your posterior. It's also absolutely brilliant for changing your welly boots if you've been out on a walk and putting your driving shoes back on, or your trainers, whatever you're driving. This car benefits from a luggage pack. Now, there are many, many packs that you can buy in addition to this car, as with all BMWs. So the luggage pack, you get these anti-slip sections here within the floor of the car itself. You also get, and this car doesn't have one because I think maybe it's disappeared somewhere, is a space saver wheel, which is hidden under there. These are a couple of gas struts holding this up, which are rather nice. You get your big sort of tow bar-y thing in there. You get a cargo net as well. Really nice bits and pieces. I like the way, listen to the way this clicks down as well. You ready? Oh, so nice. You've got some tie-off points here in each of the corners. You've got a couple of cargo nets, and over there you've got a first aid kit hidden away in there. One thing as well with the luggage pack, you get this fantastic space. Well, the only way I can describe it is it's the magically disappearing parcel shelf. Now, if you've watched me before, you know I absolutely hate parcel shelves. If they don't go under there, then they get thrown away. And it's always a job getting them in, getting them out. But with this one, you get this amazing little button and you just push it once like that. And it starts to disappear itself. There it goes. It's on its way down now. It opens up the floor there. It slides down. Check this out. It's absolutely unreal. And there it's gone. Disappeared. So at this point, I can now show you over here is where, that's with the pack that I was just telling you about, the luggage pack. So that disappears under there. And then you can pull that seat down there. It's a 60-40 split. Love it. And there's another one this side as well for that seat. Look how smooth it is. 1,870 litres of boot space. Absolutely huge. I totally love this car for its practicality. And what's even better is when you finish and you want to just chuck everything in there and shut the back up, you don't have to do it one at a time either. You can just push the button like that. Look at that. How cool is that? With the BMW X5, you do get a Harman Kardon surround system in this car. It's a 10-speaker system and it's over 200 watts of power. It's absolutely amazing when you're driving along. All you can hear is crystal clear sound from the DAB radio or any of your tunes that you're running through Bluetooth. Or if you've got an Apple phone, you can use Apple Play as well. It comes with a Wi-Fi hotspot, which is great for any of your passengers because they can just jump straight onto that, or if you're doing a bit of business and you want to use it, it's perfect for your laptop and things like that. Really love it. Very, very versatile. The only thing is, this car still doesn't have Android mirroring. Don't get that. So as you would expect up front, you've got keyless entry and keyless ignition. Before I jump in, I'll just point out over here is your lighting control panel, which is all touch sensitive as well. Love that. And you've got a luminosity button. Got to have a luminosity button so you can actually change the ambience on the settings within the car itself. This car comes, wait for it, with a comfort pack, which gives you vented front seats. It also gives you these lovely leather seats as well, with a fully electronic adjustment with the memories built into them, which are up here as well. Obviously they're heated. With the comfort pack, you get a number of bits and pieces extra. You also get some lovely vented cup holders in here as well, so you can cool your cold drink down or keep your coffee warm in there. I love that. It's really nice. We'll talk about all the extra bits in a minute, but for that pack, for these seats and those extra bits, we are talking £4,995 extra. But I think it's worth it because this car is so comfortable, it is unbelievable. Another thing which it benefits from within the car when you're driving it, you notice how quiet this particular car is because it comes with the extra laminated windows all the way around. You pay an extra £500 for that, but it's really worth it, really, really worth it. It's got a Harman Kardon sound system in here, which is absolutely fantastic. I'm going to pull the door to, because I'm going to show you a couple of bits and pieces around here. So you've got your lock and unlock here on the door next to your opener. You've got your memory buttons here for your seats here as well, which is lovely. You've also got over here some seat controls. On the right here, you've got your pretty much your standard, your window controls and your mirror controls. And just above it, there's a little button which you can open your tail lift from here in the front. So if you're out with the missus and it's pouring with rain, you don't want to get out the car and she's bringing the shopping out, just pull the button and you can carry on watching the TV. Exactly, especially if the football's on. As I said, this car comes as an 8-speed auto sequential gearbox. There's your little gear knob there. You've got your park button at the back there. This is the M Sport version, so you get your little M badge on there. You also get your M badge on here, and what you will notice on all the seat belts, you get the M colours as well. Look at that, aren't they lovely? I do like that. Little touches from BMW. 12.3-inch touchscreen in the centre, and additionally another 12.3-inch cockpit screen here as well, the instrument cluster. All digital, lovely, absolutely so easy to use as well. I'm going to start back over here because I want to show you how neat this is. Look at the way that opens there, and inside there you've got a little USB-C as well, so you can charge your bits and bobbies inside. That's your little glove box, got a little light in there as well. Love things like that. You can get all your bits in there, just hide your bits away. Really nice. You've got a hill descent control system on this car as well, and that's the button to activate it there. Hill descent control, obviously, big car, going down a hill, very icy, very snowy or whatever, stick that in, take your foot off the accelerator. This car will guide itself down without sliding all over the place and sending you out of control. That's a fantastic extra to have on this car. This car does come with adaptive damping, but we're going to talk about that when we get back out on the road again, which we'll do in a minute. So I mentioned about the cup holders. You also get a 12-volt adapter in there. You've got a wireless iPhone charger as well, which is just at the front there. You can pop that in there, lovely. Another USB-C over the front there as well. Just USBs all over the place. These here are predetermined or preset buttons that you can set up for commands that you like on a regular basis. So one could be a radio command, another one could be anything that you pre-program it to. And there's a very nice knob. We love a little German knob. This one here just does the volume, and I love being able to do that, where I haven't got fiddle about to try and find out how to turn things up and down, because I'm a bit simple when it comes to that. I like a knob, something I can get. Now, speaking of knobs, check this one out. That's a proper sized knob, that is. This is your iDrive system, BMW iDrive, and this one is even better in the newer version. In other words, it's got a much faster codec system that's built into it, so it just works super quick. You can scroll around all over the place, left and right on this. It just really works nicely. You've got your home button over here. I think the buttons now have been put into really nice positions, so once you memorise where they are, all you have to do is just touch and it will go into that system. So if we go into the home button, you set up with your home. You can set this up either as a 3-way display or even a 4-way display. So here we've got a 3-way display. I'm scrolling about there. You can slide across, you've got your compass on there, and as you see, when I put my hand near to it, it's very proactive. It moves with me like that. There we go. The weather today, 16 degrees and occasional showers by the looks of things, and it's on Sunday. There we go. Lovely. All nice bits and pieces, and as I say, very easy to use. A lovely thing about this car is having the separate heater controls. Again, if you get in this car in the winter, you've got gloves on, you don't want to be fumbling around with the touchscreen. You want it right in front of you. You've got your heating up and down here. You can set it in the auto button. You've got independent auto buttons as well. So if your passenger doesn't want air conditioning on, he or she doesn't have to have it on. You can have yours on the right-hand side. I love things like that. Makes things very adaptable and individual to people. What I don't like, oh, by the way, this has the gesture control as well. So if you've never heard of gesture control, you're going to love this. So gesture control, literally while you're sitting here, you can turn the volume up with your finger. You like that? Watch this. Ready? There you go. How's that? How cool is that? Oh, that is so worth it. It's so nice when you're driving along. I'm not going to do it again. Okay, glove box. Let's check it out. Now, unfortunately, this would be a reasonable sized glove box if it didn't have the obligatory handbook. Now, what I don't get is, come on BMW, why are you producing such a massive handbook when it's on here? It's on, you can actually access it on the screen. So if I want to know something, why do I need to get the book out? Or even if it wasn't on screen, I could get it online anyway. That probably would save us quite a few £100s, and you could have one of the extras that you probably didn't want to pay out for free. Makes sense. Also, you don't need it taking up all the space that this does, because that literally takes up most of the space in your glove box. So I'm loving all the piano black round here. It's really nicely finished, nothing less than what I would expect. Steering wheel, superb. Electronic adjustment here, up and down. You can move it up and down wherever you want it. Let's talk about the steering wheel. On the right hand side here, you've got your telephone system, you've got your volume up and down, and you've got your menu button here as well, which scrolls through your menu, and you've got your voice activation. So that's your Ask BMW button down there on the bottom right. Just push that and say tune to a certain radio station, or find me a burger bar, I'm starving, I need a burger, and it will direct you to the nearest burger bar. Volume up and down, simple. Left hand side are your driving controls. So you have your speed limiter, you can set that up. You've got your distance control, you've got your lane keepy. The one thing I do love about this system is one button does all. Aha, one button does all. The button down the bottom there, we just push that when you're driving along. It will set the speed, it sets your lane keepy, it sets your distance. If you want to control that, you can then adjust it accordingly. And then you've got a little button in the middle there, which is to go up and down on your speed setting. It's just nice and simple. Heated steering wheel with this car, again, comes with the comfort pack. Little things like that I love. During the winter, you just pop that button on there, you get a nice heated steering wheel. Flappy paddles if you want them. On the right here, you've got your windscreen wiper and rear wiper. In order to put the rear wiper on, you just turn backwards or forwards, and you can put it on an auto setting for both front and rear. Again, that's a BMW thing I really love. Lighting, again, just set it, you know, it's there when you need it. You just put it on. It's done, sorts itself out. Don't need to do much more than that. Well, let's get back to the car and finish off this fantastic talk. This fantastic car, this X5 is a fantastic car. Let's get back to the road report. So the one thing that's very synonymous with all BMW SUVs, or SAVs as they like to call them, is the xDrive system. Now the xDrive system is BMW's all-wheel drive system, and if you do happen to want to take this off-road or don't have a lot of choice because you've got to go and collect a horse box or something, you're going to have to go off on a field, it will behave immaculately. It is brilliant. But if you want to go to the next level, well, of course, BMW have a pack for that, don't they? They have the X off-road pack for that one. With that, you get a sump guard. Yes, you get a sump guard, which goes at the front of the car there, gets bolted on, and you get 3 extra driving modes. You get X rocks. Can't see where I'm going to be driving this over rocks. You get X sand. Maybe if I lived in the Middle East somewhere, I might be using it out in the desert. And you get X snow, and that's probably for the one day a year here in the UK that we do get snow, if we do. But I think it's a great idea, and if you know, money's no object, then why not invest in it? Speaking of a little bit of extra money, if you do have a larger family, you can get 2 extra seats to go in the back, making this a 7-seater. That's just shot it up into another realm in my books. Right, so first up, before I jump in the back and show you what it's like for the passengers, check out these doors, how far back they go, which makes jumping in and out, especially if you're an older person, easier, or if you're trying to put a baby seat in here or lift a young toddler in here. It's just really nice to have that extra space as you're doing it. Another thing I like, although the windows around at the back are all tinted, you do get a blind on this particular model here. Look, you just pop that up there. So during the summer, that's really nice. That's going to give you some added protection from the sun and keep it cooler in the back here. Speaking of keeping it cooler, well, you do obviously get independent heating in the back for your passengers. It's all digitally controlled here in the centre. I absolutely love this system, so easy to use as well. You've got the slide open and close on your vents as well. Set your heat in. You've got heated rear seats on this car as well, even more lovely. Just, you know, just consistent with the comfort and the luxury that's involved in this car. And very carefully this time, because in the last take when we were doing this, I only cut my finger open because I didn't see it. There's a little panel there which you can open up. It's got 2 USB-Cs for recharging your device, and it's got an HDMI input. So if you've got a laptop here, for example, and you want to actually play this on your screens, I'll explain them in a second, you can just plug straight in there. Then you've got your headphone outputs here. This car actually comes with the cutest of headphones I have ever seen with a car. Check out these. Look at those little bad boys with your little BMW on the inside there. How nice are they? You've got to love it. Look at the way it all folds open. Look, just pop it open like that. Pop them on your head. There you go. How cool is that? Sorry, did you say something? They're pretty good actually. I'm going to leave them there out the way just for a minute. With the TV pack, you do get these, obviously. The TV pack comes with these 2 screens and a TV tuner. You will be paying an extra 3,000 UK pounds for the privilege of these touchscreens, but they are absolutely stunning. Even with the sun coming on here, you can see everything here. So you can have this set up so exactly what the driver's seeing you can see, or you have your movie on here. I've even got weather on here at the moment, which is incredible. Love it, loving all these extra bits and pieces. We'll pop that away so it keeps it nice and neat. There's also a DVD player in there as well. So if you haven't got, you know, if you've only got your Apple phone or your iPad or whatever and you want to play a DVD, you can whack a DVD in there and watch that as well. Incredible stuff. But what's most important, I think, is this the comfort in the back, because if you're going to be spending, you know, a reasonable amount of time in here, first up, you want it to be comfortable. Second up, you need a door or a window that's really, look at the size of that. It's way below my shoulder line, which makes, you know, nausea in the back here, which is a common thing, especially with younger kids. It's going to take that, you know, completely out of the window, if you pardon the pun, because you've got such a lovely big window and it's so low so they can see out, and it makes them feel, you know, like they don't want to be sick and chucking up on your lovely leather seats. And speaking of leather, these new seats that BMW have put in this car are much softer than the previous version of this car. I've noticed that ever since I've been sitting in the car and driving it. It's just a really lovely feel to it. Now, I mentioned earlier on in the boot that this is a 60-40 split, but before we show you a couple of bits that you can do in here, check this out. You've got your centerpiece here, which opens up so you can put probably a phone in here or a couple of phones or whatever. Nice little place to put bits and pieces. You've also got, which I love, you pop that open like that, a double cup holder. But look how neat is that, the way it clunks back together. You know, it's not something that's going to break in a hurry. It's really well built. I really like that. So that pops open. What you do get from behind is a ski rack, and well, it would be because it's German. You can put the skis through here, whereas here in the UK we go down to B&Q and put lovely big lumps of wood through here. Yes, of course we do, Barry. We're not really skiers in this country. It's got obviously the Isofix points here. These are the poppy uppy ones. They're not the ones that pop out or could get handed by a youngster to the baby over there and which swallows it. So they stay in position so you don't lose them. You won't end up forking out for another set of those in 3 years when you swap the car over. You have recessed seat belts as well, which makes sliding across really nice and easy. In fact, it's really nice to slide across here. There is hardly any transmission tunnel. It is beautifully, like the way you can just move. I think they've really thought about this because you've got tons of leg room. I could sit here in the middle for absolutely hours. So on one of those boozy lunches when you're off, you know, you stick your marketing director to drive home, you have a few drinks because you've met up with Julie and Sandra from recruitment, and you want to sit in the back with them and accompany them on the way home. This could be perfect for, you know, Gareth, give it a couple of hours, you know what I mean, drive around the long way if you would, and we watch a decent movie, you know what I'm saying. Could be quite good for the afternoon. Before we finish up in the back here, I do want to point out this gorgeous panoramic roof in here. It's absolutely stunning. At night, it all lights up as well, according to the car colours that you've set, because there's a choice of different colours you can set this car up as. I will point out, though, it is an extra. Of course it is. It's an extra £2,500 UK pounds. So adding in the 3,000 for the screens, 2,500 for that, we're up to 5,500 just to really make it nice in the back here. But if you got the money, what the hell, go for it. The BMW X5 M50i starts at around 75,500 UK pounds, which, to be honest, I think is a reasonable amount for what you're actually getting. Comes with a 3-year unlimited mileage warranty, a 12-year anti-corrosion warranty. You get emergency roadside assist, and you get BMW's concierge service as well. So all in all, it's quite a nice package. Another thing to remember, this has a very, very good residual value. Has around about 45% of its original value. That's after 3 years or 60,000 miles, which again isn't bad. And the reason for that is that the second-hand market for BMW X5s is absolutely massive. Add on top of that you've got 1 in every 3 BMW owners wants to buy another BMW, and pretty much selling one of these cars on, you're laughing. Hope you enjoyed the video, guys, as much as I enjoyed making it. It was great fun. Just to remind you, if you've got any questions, you can put them in the comment box down below, so please do that. If you wouldn't mind giving us a thumbs up, because we don't get a bonus, we don't get any pay rises, but we do get a pat on the back from the bosses and the sponsors for a job well done, because they know you enjoyed it if you give us a thumbs up. Appreciate that. If you want to subscribe, totally down to you. We'd love it if you do. Leave the bell sign unchecked so you get regular updates when we put videos up, which is quite often these days. Just before you go, there's a chance to get the free online version of the Player Bookazine. The Player Bookazine is a 220-page magazine for us guys. It has cars in there, it has boats, it has helicopters, food, golf, you name it, it's in there. And it's free for you online. So all you have to do is just go to www.theplayer, now it's coming in now, .co.uk. I'll leave it up for a couple of seconds. Hit the subscribe tab, put your name and email in. Simple as, no data capture. It's as easy as that. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll catch you next week with something different.